everybody. It's me, the enlightened one, and I'm gonna bang the truth out of you, and then we're gonna find out what wrestling with paranormal is all about, baby.
Oh, I like it. I'm Craig the Gray. Here with you as always. I'm wrestling with the paranormal. What are we looking at today?
Okay, so today we're talking about devils and dolls.
Ooh,
Yeah,
scary.
so yeah, that's quite intriguing. So it's pretty much
That's
like
the main topic. That's the main topic.
yeah, Annabelle, Chucky, that kind of thing. It's based on that. But guess what?
But we got breaking news.
We got breaking news. So Austin has escaped the alien ship
Mm-hmm.
and he's doing some field reporting for us.
Where's this coming from?
Hmm?
Where's he coming from again?
He's from Indiana,
Nice.
and so he's going to do some field reporting, and he's eventually going to make it back on the show.
I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be good.
But the breaking news is this: his mother yesterday, uh, bedroom cam, caught a ghost
Whoa. On camera.
on camera, and we have it for you. And just as you're watching, look for a child in this ghost. Okay, so there's actually one entity. Don't know what it is, if it's another person or not, and one ghost. Yeah, one looks like a little boy. So we're gonna show that slide to you now.
And this is the
So
first time this picture is showed on the internet. You get it
yes,
from
this is
this.
the first time ever
You get it
that
live
anyone has seen it.
from Wrestling
So
with the Paranormal.
if you can't see it, there's actually something holding. It looks like a child.
Mm-hmm.
If you look around the shoulder, it looks like a child's head, and then you can
I
see
can
the
see
foot
it.
of the child also sticking out there.
Yeah.
It also creeped me out when I saw this. What if that's a doll?
Oh man,
Like
that would be
it
crazy.
all worked out that somehow this demon with the doll in the picture is showing up, and it miraculously comes to me to go on the show. Uh, just to just to do a little bit of zoom in, so you can see it a little bit closer.
Yeah, that's a spooky picture, man. That's just spooky. And you could
Yeah,
see
it
from
looks
the
like
time it was 11 o'clock at night. This is
yeah,
last night,
yesterday night.
but yesterday night, yeah.
So yeah, that comes from Austin's mother, who gave him the picture, and he's had a lot of crazy stuff happen to him. So um, yeah, that is the first time this is being shown anywhere in the world, in the universe. We are breaking it. So um, yeah, we'll have some more pictures later on. Oh, you like the new background for the show?
Looks familiar. Looks like
Yeah,
something
that's on the
you could
shirt.
looks like something you could
but
buy on a t-shirt.
but I'm going to zoom us back in because people want to see our beautiful faces.
All right, so where do we
So
start with these spooky dolls?
okay, so I'm going to tell the longer story. There's three stories we're going to tell, and I'm going to tell the longer story, and then you can tell the other two main ones.
Yeah, I got
So
some bonus material too.
yeah, so uh, the star of our show is his name is. I'm always struggling with papers. What are you gonna do?
Just
Um,
figured out. Look, I got my notes all organized right here. I got all
yeah.
my notes.
So the star of our show, his name is Robert Eugene Otto, and he's born in 1900 exactly, October 25th, and he comes from a rich family. Um, uh, but somewhere along the line, Gene didn't like his first name, Robert, and he just called himself Gene, and everyone just called him Gene, and we're cool with that. And it came to a time when, uh, they got lots of servants in the house, they got lots of money, and when Gene turned 3, they hired a nursemaid to look after him, and she was a bohemian lady, and To me, Bohemians are a little bit associated with gypsies, are they not?
Yeah, they're like kind of displaced European culture, kind of found
Yeah,
throughout Europe. Like they don't really have a stable nationality.
yeah. So some would call them
Somewhat
gypsies,
like
right?
gypsies. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, so she starts working for the family, and her and Eugene, they start bonding together, having a good time. And the only problem is that the Otto family, they were just they would snap, and they would fire people just like that for no reason.
Hmm.
And we don't even know what the reason was, but the Bohemian lady, did something the family didn't like, just a trivial little thing, and they fired her on the spot. And she didn't like that, so she came back to say goodbye to Jean. And when she came back, she brought sort of a puppet sort of creature or something like that. Uh, and it's a it's a some say that she gave it to piss off the family, and some say she gave it to give Jean comfort. So we're just going to show you a quick picture of this doll. Here it is.
I mean, I don't know about what toys looked like in the 1900s. Did they all look this scary? That looks terrifying.
The sailor costume kind of helps, but not by much, right?
No, not
So this is the
really.
actual picture of the doll.
So did he
And
name the doll Robert?
yes, the as by there, I didn't get to say that yet. Thanks for spoiling it. Yes, it is Robert. It
You
is Robert. The
labeled the
name.
picture Robert. Okay.
Yes, yes, I gave it away. Um, so name the doll Robert, and it ends up being that he loved this doll so much, and he was in his bedroom one day, and some of the servants, they could hear chitter chatter of two children talking back and forth. And at first they thought, well, it's probably just him making up both the voices.
Hmm.
And it soon came that they discovered that no, man, those are two different kids talking right there. And whenever they went in, Gene was alone, and the only thing there was Robert the doll. So he decides to go up in his room one day, and he's playing along, and door shut. He's the only one in there, and all of a sudden he screams bloody murder. He's screaming and screaming, and the servants and the parents are trying to get in the room. It's locked, and eventually oh yeah, and also they hear uh, these evil, devilish laughs coming from the room while Gene is screaming. So they eventually break the door down, and they see all over the floor. They see busted up toys, uh, and in the middle of his bed, kind of freaking out, kind of shivering, is Gene. And they're asking him what happened, and then he points over to Robert, who's sitting on the windowsill looking at his damage he caused. He's sitting there, and he just points to Robert, and everyone's kind of like, "What the hell?" And so the next thing that happens is some of Gene's toys, some of his stuffies or whatnot, other dolls, they get misplaced all over the house. And eventually, the servants and not Robert, Gene finds them, and they have been mutilated, just like disconfigured, and I guess it's a jealous doll. It does not want other dolls around. And another time, when a servant was in a room by themselves, no one was around, the doors would be locked, and they'd be locked inside until someone could come and let them out. And you'd also find twisted up forks and knives just squished up like that. And so it came about that, this went on, and Gene, Gene got older, and his parents died, and they left the house to him and everything in it. And so uh, he still got this love for this doll, which I don't understand at this point. Being all the terror, everything that happened, right? So he's still got love for this doll, and so he gives the doll its own room, sitting on a rocking chair.
Hmm.
So I guess he's still getting out and going to social programs, and I don't know where he's going, but he meets this beautiful woman named Anne, and they fall in love, and they get married. Um, but I guess his little secret was Robert the doll, and eventually it starts getting weird for Anne, and she's not liking it because the not only is Robert at the dinner table with them when they're eating,
Oh, yeah.
Robert also ends up uh, in a chair in their room while they're sleeping or having sex or whatever they're doing. Right? Robert's
I
got to
bet
do that.
you, but I bet you Gene didn't bring Robert to the first date.
To the what?
To the first date.
No,
That's
he
not
didn't
something
because
you did exactly. Yeah.
he wanted to sign get on. She probably didn't find out until after they're married.
I guess that's the way you do it if you have a creepy doll obsession. Is that
Yeah, if you have a creepy
you
adult
gotta
obsession. Hey,
keep it under wraps for a bit.
hey guys, pro tip here for dating.
Yeah.
If you have a satanic doll collection,
Yeah.
don't tell the girls you're dating about it till after you get married, right? Um, so I guess the marriage starts having trouble because of this, and so Joel finally decides. Joel, who the hell's Joel? So
I
this
don't
kid
know.
named Joel. I'm gonna add
Where is this coming from?
So Gene, yeah, that's why Gene Joel. So Gene decides he wants to save his marriage, so he decides that he's going to put this Robert up in the attic,
Whoa.
and then people started making claims that as they're playing outside, hold on, just need a brew.
That's our sponsor there.
Yeah, water.
And
Buble. So eventually, so he kids can see him playing outside, and he's up at the window terrorizing, making gestures at the kids outside.
rude
And,
doll gestures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weird. Just like I don't know. What's the doll get? What kind of? He's like finger. I don't know. So Anne Otto, she's in a room one day, and she hears a little up on in the attic, and she hears another pitter pattering up on the in the attic, and she goes up there, and there's no one up there, but sure enough, the doll is now just above their bedroom, where before he was closer to the window. So somehow he made his way over and moved closer to their bedroom. So, anyways, and other stuff starts happening. All this paranormal stuff keeps going on, and Anne ends up in the insane asylum. And it goes from like nothing good happens in the insane asylum. Don't check yourself in, and your life's over pretty much, right? No one gets better back then in the insane asylum.
Yeah,
And
this is early 1900s. We're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so where am I in the story? She has a mental breakdown. There we go. So he eventually dies himself in 1974. So new owners take over the house, and a 10-year-old daughter, they find the doll, and the 10-year-old daughter starts having nightmares about
Well,
Robert trying to kill her.
so they
And
keep the
so,
doll. The doll's in the house.
yeah,
Take
the
over the
doll
house. The
comes to
doll's
the
in the
house,
house.
I
They keep it.
guess.
They keep.
Well, I guess it was in
Right.
the attic, right?
I mean, you clean out your attic when you buy a house,
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Well, the guy died, so to get in the house probably a better good deal.
Yeah.
So, so they have the nightmares, and so they they send it off to a museum, and it's an antique doll, and it's under glass, and people are taking pictures of this thing. But the weird thing about it, when they try to take pictures of this thing, it never turns out.
Right.
It's always malfunctioning, just like it was. Did I mention the second picture we had?
You forgot to mention the second picture.
I forgot to mention I actually have another picture, and I was trying to upload it to the slides, and so it was
This
kind of
is
like
from
that. This
this
is
is from
from the
Austin's
ghost.
mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's the second picture. See if I can see it, and
You
it's
can't
right
really
to
make
your
out much. Yeah.
yeah. It's the big white thing on the that you can see right there with the little
Yeah.
hands poking out. So I kept on trying to upload this to the computer to the slides. It would never show up in my emails. Oh man, so it was kind of like that with Robert.
Well, we've seen that at the ranch too. The Skinwalker Ranch. They couldn't take
Yeah,
any.
so
Yeah.
it happened to us today as well. So it's uh, it's one of those things. Uh, yeah, so Robert, people would see Robert in the glass, and people would swear that they saw his hands kind of moving and his facial gestures change a little bit. So yeah, now you're too low.
I know. Well, it's I don't know what's going on with my camera. There we go.
There we go. That's perfect.
So that is still in the museum, and because that's where the picture comes from that you showed of Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, one thing I wonder about the story is who told the story. You know what I mean? Because like Otto dies. I guess some people who knew him must have known his strange obsession. Maybe some people, friends of Anne's or something. Must have
Yeah,
told
it
the
might have been
story.
a local legend as well.
Yeah. See, up until I mean, actually, the whole story. If you want to be skeptical about this story, when he's a kid, he could just be a really angry kid. You know, he's mutilating his own toys. He's having fits. He's breaking things. He's blaming it on the doll. That could be explained that way. And he's just obsessed with the doll. And even as an adult, he like, other than the part where it gets to Anne, like hearing the doll moving in the ceiling, like in the
Yeah.
attic, that's like kind of where it gets like, well, he's not even there. Like Otto's not even in the picture there. So yeah, there's definitely some creepy stuff going on.
Yeah, and you could dismiss that the children seeing the doll in the attic window as maybe he set it up there, and then the
And he's
children's
like
imaginations.
he's doing a little like puppetry or something, you know?
Well, no, maybe he didn't even do anything. He just set it up in the window, and then the kids' imaginations tell the rest, right?
Right.
So,
I was trying to get our like heads level for some reason. You know what it's occurred to me is that we need more logos on the screen. Like we only have 4 of our logos. I need to buy another shirt so that I can also be wearing another shirt. There we go. Thank you.
there's the other logo. Occasion we'll use that screen just for fun.
All right, we tagging out. I got a couple more creepy dolls here.
Making the tag.
Making the tag. Okay, let's jump ahead here to the 1990s. Um, Now, this is Quesnel City, um, northern part of the state somewhere. I should have looked it up. But there's a doll called Mandy that gets donated to this museum, the Quesnel City Museum. It's donated in 1991 by an anonymous donor. The donor will come back into the picture later because when the story gets out, the donor comes back and kind of tells more about the doll. But at first, it's just an anonymous donor. This doll's maybe just left, at the museum. It's an antique doll. So they put it. But the thing is, they want to take it into the museum. But the thing is, the clothes are filthy when they first get this doll. So that's it all cleaned up. You see the picture here. You can see it's a classic antique doll, right? It's really old. Imagine that doll with all the clothes like really, really dirty and filthy. You're gonna want to clean that doll up. So what they did is they removed the clothes, put the doll into a bag. I guess that's what they do. Now the spooky thing is the workers could hear rustling from the bag, as if the doll was moving in there. So the doll's in a bag, it's off in the corner somewhere, they're cleaning the dress and all this other stuff, and they hear like the bag rustling, like the doll's trying to get out. So right away they know, okay, this is kind of weird. Once they get it cleaned up, they dress the doll up, they put it into a glass case. Visitors who come to the museum swear that they can hear tapping on the glass when they're near the doll, as if the doll is like trying to get their attention. So they hear this tapping. One time, so the doll has like a toy lamb, like a little lamb that it has, which is really, it's really weird. I think the Robert doll also had a little dog.
Yeah,
right?
it did.
It's
Well,
weird that like dolls
they had more with dolls back then.
Isn't it weird? Yeah, dolls have their own toys. Like a doll comes with a toy lamb. Like it's like a toy that has a toy for some reason. So yeah, the visitors one day they find her toy lamb thrown outside of the case, but the case is closed, almost as if someone had opened it and they take the lamb out and throw it in and then closed it. That's so kind of strange, because none of the workers did it, right? And this is a glass case at the museum, so it's locked, and the workers have the key, so it didn't really make any sense. And then it gets even worse. One day, when they open up the museum, all of the other cases are opened and the toys are thrown out of them and they're all strewn all over the floor. But Mandy's is perfect in her case. She's still in her case and she's fine. But everything else has been thrown around as if something just like had a tantrum, right? And this is something we saw with Robert too. He's like jealous of other toys, which is kind of
so maybe
thing.
He's
It's doll jealousy, classic doll.
I should be the only doll.
So the workers at Quesnel Museum, they're getting kind of like freaked out by this doll. They're like, what the hell's going on? They contact a psychic medium to come in. This medium looks at the doll, kind of does like, feeling like trying to get energy off of it and everything, and says that it feels like the doll belonged to a little girl who died. And the little girl like maybe doesn't know what's going on. Kind of seems like there's lots of stress or anxiety around the doll. And then like maybe it is that like you're like a little girl that you died and for some reason your spirit gets caught in the doll and you don't know what's going on. You're trying to get people's attention and you're trying to throw things around, So yeah, the spirits, the medium says that the little girl's spirit's trapped in the doll. This story gets out, so I guess they tell the news or whatever. The story gets out. The donor who donated the doll hears the story or hears about the story, and that's like, oh, that's the doll I donated. So the donor comes forward and starts telling a little bit more about the story. So this donor doesn't have any kids or anything, didn't buy this doll for any kids. This donor is like a bachelorette, lives alone. She came home one day. She was completely alone. She came home one day. She heard a baby crying in one of her rooms. Oh, that's a lamb. She heard a baby crying. She opens up. It's in her basement. She goes down to the basement. She opens up the door, and all she finds is this doll she's never seen before, laying in the middle of the floor, and it's all dirty. So this doll just came out of nowhere, and the owner never seen it before, or the person who owned this house. Immediately, she doesn't like this doll. She tries to get rid of it. She throws it in the garbage, but the doll comes back into her house. So she puts it in the bin.
Back in the basement with the baby.
Yeah, and the bin gets picked up, like her garbage gets picked up, everything. The doll's back in her basement, so she's like freaking out. She's like, I don't know what's going on. And I guess she just, in her head, she had this idea that like maybe if I donate it to a museum where they'll clean it up and they'll put it on display, maybe the doll will be happy. So that's what she does. That's why she donated it. She didn't want to say anything because she
So now the medium is looking like a big fat liar, right?
Who knows? I mean, like maybe I don't know. Like it seems like sometimes these dolls can move. Like how did the doll get into her basement? Right? Maybe the doll's looking for a mother or something in hopes that this lady will like take her in.
I'm calling bullshit on this this medium.
You think the lady's doing it?
Huh?
You think the lady's just messing with them?
No, I think the medium is just making up a story so she can get paid.
Yeah.
That's it. And
I mean, it's
a resume.
A small child dying and its spirit being trapped in the doll seems like that's probably a pretty typical haunted doll setup.
Yeah, response, right?
Yeah. Same thing as Robert. So visitors who go to Quesnel City Museum, they claim to take pictures of Mandy. The pictures don't turn out; they're distorted. Devices malfunction. Cameras don't work there. So that seems to be like a pretty common theme. But you can go visit Mandy at the Quesnel City Museum. I should have looked up where Quesnel City is. I know there's a Quesnel in BC, but I don't think.
Yeah, it's not there. Maybe
it's not that Quesnel. Quesnel. All I'm getting is BC, but where's Quesnel City in the States? USA. I should have looked this up earlier. City of Quesnel. All right. Well, since I live in British Columbia, all I'm getting is British Columbia.
Well, you know what?
Maybe it is. I don't actually know. I didn't research that.
It could be from here because
we got a lot of haunted stuff going on. If anybody knows in the comments, you can leave a comment there. So that's Mandy, very similar to Robert's story. Both of these stories, I believe, are the inspiration for the hit film Toy Story.
New infinity.
Do you have any? We should break up the stories here. Do you have any dolls, Aaron? Do you like keep any dolls around?
Let me check. Wait, I think I got a doll.
Okay, here we go. Let's get some live footage of real dolls so people can see what's going on. We got a cat in the picture there.
You can see the cat in the show still.
Little black cat, yeah.
That's my doll, but I got the Joker.
That's creepy. Why is he holding a bat symbol?
It's the tag.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a creepy doll. So I got a story behind this doll. You know how like you go to Christmas? I went to my friend's Christmas party and they do like a joke gift trade exchange. Have you ever done that? Where like people buy joke presents and then you open it and
you keep saying joke, so he's gonna come back.
Every time you say joke, the Joker pops in.
We should make that part of the show. If someone says joke.
But you know what I mean? So yeah, I went to my friend's Christmas party. People were opening presents and they were all silly. And somebody opened this. And it was one of those games where you could like trade presents. So like if you didn't like your present, you could steal somebody else's present, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it was called.
I don't know if people do that in other parts of the world, but that's kind of
it's real fun
thing. Yeah, it's fun. It's great. You can steal things and then you can only steal a present twice or whatever. So I got my hands on this little guy. This is called a fuggler.
Oh man, that thing's creepy.
He's awesome. So it's got it looks like it has little human teeth. And I just call him Fuggler because that's what he is. He's a Fuggler. There's a whole series of them. You can look them up online. They're ugly dolls. They're meant to be ugly. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
See, that's uglier than Robert.
It's pretty ugly, yeah. But sometimes it's weird. Like I'll show up at home and like all of a sudden he's holding like a sign.
What?
I don't know where that came from.
He's got the me spelled backwards. Oh man.
Bugler. Which brings me to our third story of the night. Let's go all the way to Queensland, Australia.
And I will pull up the picture.
We've got a picture of this one. So this is Letta. And there's a story behind the name. It's not just like a random name. So two brothers. This is 1970s, Queensland, Australia. They're near Wagga Wagga, which is a great name for a town. Wagga Wagga.
Wagga Wagga, mate.
Oh, Wagga Wagga. Get some Bobby. So they're going into this like abandoned house, because that's what boys do. There's an abandoned house and they run in and, check it out, right? And one of the brothers starts screaming because he looks down and there's a broken floorboard. And from in the floorboard, he can see a face staring at him. So he like freaks out and starts screaming. But then they realize when they look at it that it's just a toy doll. So they dig it out, they break the floorboards, and they dig out this old creepy doll that you just saw there in the picture. The face is like carved out of wood. It's very crude. It's dressed in boys' clothing. And they named it Letta because the doll was trapped under the floorboards, and it's short for "Let Me Out of Here." Let Me Out of Here. That's where they got the name.
It's very European if you look at it.
Yeah, it's like that's a creepy wooden face. It's kind of like making.
It looks
a weird,
like you're.
like,
Looks like an
grimace.
evil aunt or grandma that you had. That was just
well, and it's very like the hair looks like a grandma, but the clothes are like a little boy's clothes, and the boots are like wooden. Like that's creepy, man. Like who would play with that? Why would you play with that?
Here.
Why would you be playing with that? How is that fun? Anyway, so they find this doll, and one of the boys takes it home. I guess he just maybe they joke around with it for a while, but then he packs it up somewhere, completely forgets about it for years. He just packed this doll up in the box, forgets about it. But one day when he's moving out, he finds this doll. He cleans up the doll. Immediately, his dogs start barking at this doll and getting like really angry and aggressive, and like they don't like this doll. Like maybe it's the face or just the energy, right? But they just the boy's name is Carrie. Now he's grown up, so this is Carrie. His dogs are getting all aggressive. They don't like this doll. And this is the mystery to me in the story. Like for some reason he still keeps it. I don't know what is he doing with his doll. But he starts to find that like if he sets up the doll on the shelf in a certain position one day, when he comes home, it'll be in a different position. Or like when he wakes up in the morning, it looks like the doll moved over the night. Like its hands are in a different position. So that's kind of freaky. He's got a girlfriend too. They find scuff marks on the walls and the floor, and they match like the feet of the doll. Like it'll be like the doll's feet will be dirty and like will be scuffing up the floor. So it like looks like the doll's moving around at night. Maybe I don't know, like maybe the guy's messing with his girlfriend.
Maybe the girlfriend's messing with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Story, and they're just fucking with each other.
Maybe she just doesn't like the doll, so she's starting to make it look like it's possessed. They take the doll to a toy specialist. So the specialist looks at the doll and says it could be European, maybe even like a gypsy doll, because it doesn't look like it's made by a toy factory or anything. Like it looks really handmade. And when he's bringing him to the toy specialist, he put the doll into a sack, like a bag, and put it in the truck. Took it to the toy specialist. The guy looked at it. When he's coming home, he's got the doll in the sack again. But when he gets home and he looks at this...
First of all, let me just quickly interrupt you. It's also made with real human hair.
Oh, right. Yes. I do have that here. That it's like handmade, and the hair looks like it's real human hair. Yeah. And I'm going to bring that up in the little story I found later. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's good. I reminded you.
Yeah, it is good. So he finds Letta outside the sack that he put him in his truck when he brought him to the toy specialist, and then it was outside. And then this is where it really is the kicker. Oh, he has a girlfriend. He also has a kid. It says so. Like his kid dreams of the doll killing.
Yeah, just like
Mandy.
Mandy.
That's crazy. That's creepy.
No, it was Robert.
Robert. Yeah, it was Robert. The girlfriend dreams of Robert killing her. Yeah. So now they're getting freaked out. They bring in a medium, like people always do in these stories. The medium says something similar. The doll belonged to a boy who drowned. So Carrie sells the story to like an interviewer, like a news show, and when the interviewers coming to interview him, and they're being interviewed, the clock falls off the wall.
Wow.
Another interviewer picked up the doll, like Letta, and put the doll in his lap, and freaked out because he started to feel the doll moving in his lap.
Oh, kind of like getting comfortable, right?
Yeah, that's like it was like a little kid in his lap. That's kind of freaky.
He
So
wanted to do a lap dance.
yeah, so I don't know what happened. The story kind of leaves off there. Like, did they keep the doll? Did they put it in a museum? I guess we got the picture from somewhere, so I'd imagine this thing ended up in a museum after.
Yeah, this was in a.
That's from a museum, right?
No, it wasn't donated to a museum. They just I don't know. They didn't really say they got rid of it at all.
See, now if we wrestle with this, it does seem like these things can be used for publicity. You gotta watch out with these stories, right?
Yeah.
Because they're getting media publicity out of this. So just some things about dolls. I mean, we kind of find them freaky because they look like little humans, right?
Yeah, I find it's because it's like this mistrust that we have of something that looks so real, but it's not moving. So we have this mistrust that's just built into us, I think.
Yeah, and like when a doll looks like cute, like this doll, right? Like that doesn't, you trust this doll because he looks cute and he doesn't look like a human at all. What if you showed up and he had a note that said, "Miss me"?
Whoa, his sign changed.
Creepy.
Yeah,
But
did you see it change?
I saw it change. The sign changed on live television. That happened.
Wow, that's
I know. Now, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's that like it looks like a little human, but it's not moving and it's not a human. And it's also weird, like, why do human beings even try to make little versions of ourselves? Like, what is it we're so obsessed with? Like, I want.
Yeah, you know what? If you really think about it, like I get action figures, right? But like making dolls of replica babies with children.
Babies are, I mean, like little girls want to like pretend to be moms, and they see their mom, like if they have a baby sister or brother, then they see their mom, like, you know, with the baby or dad, you know, it doesn't matter.
Or you know what's really creepy is you date a girl for a while and you go to her house and you end up in a room somehow and there's all these creepy dolls everywhere.
Sounds like me. Oh, okay. I was like, this is from real experience?
Yes, it happened to me. There was all these.
So there's a tip.
I can perform in that situation.
You gotta put your creepy dolls away. That's a tip right here. Put your creepy dolls away. Yeah. I got a couple bonus stories here. Bonus weird doll stories. I'll give you one of my favorite ones. This is from Japan, so we got a different culture here.
Look at this doll.
There's a doll for you. That thing is alive. So remember I told you about the hair, the human hair?
Yeah.
So this is Hokkaido, 1918, Hokkaido, Japan. A young man buys a doll for his baby sister, Okiko. Okiku is her name, and she names the doll after herself. So she gets this little doll, like a little cute little Japanese doll. She names it Okiku. She gives it a dress just like her, like a matching kimono. But Okiku dies. The little girl dies when she's 3 years old. Kind of sad. And the family, they actually, because she loved her doll so much, the family adds the doll to the like family altar. It's kind of like their gravesite. They have all their like family members, right? So they put the doll there because Okiku loved the doll so much. But when they visit the gravesite, like throughout the year, they notice that the doll's hair starts growing.
What?
Yeah. So it starts as just like this little like Japanese bob, but it starts growing and growing, and the hair like ends up being longer than the doll.
That is creepy.
So the family has to start cutting the doll's hair. Now the family
Did they have a
eventually,
toy that did that?
I mean, I don't know how, but it is true that human hair does keep growing. It's kind of
Yeah.
creepy, like even after you die. So the family
Most
eventually
don't have
moves.
hair.
So the family eventually moves away from Hokkaido. They don't want to keep the doll anymore. Like they're moving the family altar. They don't want to keep the doll anymore. So they give it to a temple, the Temple of Menenji, where the monks to this day. This is from 1918. It's been 100 years. These monks keep this doll, and the hair still grows, and the monks still have to cut the doll's hair.
It's part of their practice now.
It's
The
just
new
part of
monks
their
come in and
ritual.
learn to do barbering on this
Isn't
doll.
it? And I feel like for the monks, because all the like monks are pretty spiritual, so they wouldn't think this was weird. But it's just so weird to like sweep the temple, cut the doll's hair, like
You
just
know,
in
when
your
you
daily
signed up, you
routine.
didn't. You're like you're joking about the doll, but then you learn it's part of the deal.
Yeah, like 3 months later, you see the doll's hair longer, and you're just like, I guess I gotta cut this doll's hair.
Has Fruit Cat been on the show before? Has he's been on a couple times?
We gotta split the royalties with your cat now.
Well, Fruit Cat is
I
going to bring
know.
us. He's going to bring us viewers.
He's Fruit Cat has definitely been on the show because we talked about this before, that your cat has a more successful social media presence than you.
Not by to me, but not Effing Wrestling. Effing
Oh,
Wrestling's
okay.
catching up.
All
We're
right.
right behind it.
We're on our road to 1K here, okay? 1K
For
subscribers.
YouTube, yes, YouTube, we're killing it. We are. We need 220 subscribers, and that's when we'll be at the big 1K, and that's when things will start rocking and rolling for us. Not that it already isn't.
If you're watching now, you haven't subscribed. I believe it's just like down there somewhere, probably right there. You just push the little red button there.
If you're watching on a computer, you'll see a little Batman logo right there that says Apple. And but if you're watching on the phone, you won't see that. Just hit the normal subscribe button. As you can see, the production value has even gone up a bit. We got slides. What?
We got slides. We got an intro.
Yeah, we got like a thunder and lightning that happened.
We have 4 logos. How many shows do you watch? They have 4 logos. It's crazy. Look at this, 4 logos. There's logos all over the screen, just everywhere.
There is logos everywhere, baby.
Bam. You want logos? We got them.
We will sell you a logo for how much? We sell the logo for?
Don't sell our logo.
Oh, we're not selling it?
No, we're not selling it. If someone wants to donate a delicious beverage, we will promote your beverage live on our show. Okay, this could be your beverage. This beverage.
So if somebody has like a spooky beverage, they want to.
I don't know if I want to drink a spooky beverage.
We're not drinking it. We're holding it up and going, "Yeah, this is an awesome drink, man."
Can I say that? Can I be like, "This is an awesome drink," but then I'll grab like something else and drink something else?
Yeah, you have a cup that looks the same. You pour it into, and you drink the one you want. But we're not going to do that. If you let us sell your products.
We got t-shirts. We got t-shirts for sale. You want to buy a t-shirt?
Yes, the Canada Dry T-shirt is now on the website. The patron saint Canada Dry. That is my other alter ego. If you don't know, that's me. I'm also
that's from the Effing Wrestling podcast.
Yes, and AFW Prediction League. That is my name there too. I am Canada Dry, the patron saint of professional wrestling. So I think it's been a pretty good show. You can follow us all the different places on social media. You can see that all on effingwrestling.com at the bottom of the homepage. You can see where to follow us. But really, we really want you to subscribe and hit that bell to remind when we're on, so you won't miss a single episode. We got some crazy stuff going on now that we have our friend Austin back from the mothership. He escaped. I want to know how he escaped.
Yeah, he's going to come back.
Does he have What's the note say? Oh, I couldn't see what the note said.
He's eating notes now.
Oh, that crazy. What's his name?
Fugler. It's Fugler. I don't know what else to call him. He is a Fugler, so I call him
He's
Fugler.
a Fugler, but what's his name? We got to name him.
I
He's
don't
going to
know.
be on the show occasionally. He needs a name.
Effing Fugler. Do you want to know something really funny? So he's got button eyes. He also has like a button on his butt.
Oh, right on his butt.
Yeah, it's a button. It's a button. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm coughing.
Effing Fugler.
so
I'm just
yeah.
gonna call him Effing Fugler now. That's his name. Effing Fugler.
Effin Fugler. He's the
Join the
effin
team.
mascot of the effin
Effing.
Paranormal show.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess that's it.
Get your finger on the button.
Finger on the button, just like Ronald Reagan in the 80s, baby.
All right, everybody. I want you to remember to keep on wrestling with the paranormal.